Good morning, everybody. This is Tuxedo Ian. We are getting back into our playthrough of Book of Hours. This will be video number 73 in our series, and we're just about to get into the last room that we have left to open. I think we'll be into that as soon as winter comes around. We're in autumn right now, but we've had our salon for the month. We've used our lessons from it. We have a couple books to read, so let's see what we can get done today. Much is taken, much abides. House furnishings are sometimes unique, resources are not. If you use a resource, you can always get a replenishment. And we found a basket of clean linen on the beach yesterday. So let's go beachcombing and see what we can find today. There's a tryst there, and we'll go out on the moor as well. See what we can find out there. So let's see. For books, we have Letters to My Successor. We can read that one easily enough. 8 Lantern. Auroral Contemplations does that. And then that's going to give us probably 2 lessons for Inks of Revelation. So we need Lantern and Moth. Well, we have 1 Moth from the Clouds. We have 2 from Wind and Waiting, 3 from Occult Scrap, 4 from Hive's Lament. So we just need 3 more Lantern or Moth. We can do that easily enough. So we have Revelation. We have Impulse. And we have Foresight. Plus, we also have our Inspection. So we'll inspect Ambrose's bust. I don't think we've inspected his before. And we have Ascendant Harmony as well, so that puts us more than over what we need. So what all do we have sitting around outside the house? Quite a bit. Viper Egg. We might want to use that sooner or later, but we'll bring that in here for now. Ambrose Westcott, first librarian of Hush House, metallurgist, alchemist, pyrographer. Also a smoker. Okay, so in fall we can't get anything from there. We can get some Honeyscar Jasmine here. This makes Fragrant Chalice, which we don't really need. So we'll get some more of the Honeyscar Jasmine. Ah, that's right, we're going to use the apples to make the apple meringue. So we add apples. We add our meringue. And add spices. And we can make an apple meringue. We have 2 dishes left to figure out with spicing. So this has Winter, Grail, Forge, and Nectar. I'm pretty sure the last 2 that we need to make are cakes. But I'm not sure which exactly ingredients are going to be in them. I'm sure we'll figure it out. We found a hawthorn blank. Well, let's go again. And we found some mackerel. Eat it while it's fresh or keep it while it's salted. So we can put the mackerel here in the kitchen. We can put the hawthorn blank up here. A wood favored by the horned axe. Wood with knock potential. Interesting. Our apple meringue is just about done here. Baked apple meringue. Harvey Hattington, during his convalescence at the house, was so obsessed with meringuing techniques that he was ultimately barred from the kitchen. Gee. Must have been some kind of meringuer. And then we also have honey scar jasmine. Honey scar jasmine. Sweet like a dart of fire. So we have Letters to My Successor. Advice from Gervinus Van Loren, 11th Librarian of Hush House, to the one who will come after him. Well, that's us. Some of the advice is practical. Don't worry about losing the house key. Always close the seaward windows. Make sure you feed the cockatoo. Much more of it is rarefied, specifically about the Inks of Revelation, and some of it relates to Van Loren's own doom. When I was another, I made a foolish wager with the hooded princes to solve 7 riddles. I had not realized the riddles would be set by me for the one that I would become. The 6 are resolved. The 7th will be the end of me. It waits now in the cellar of the jail, where Collars still believes I can keep it confined. But the first riddle told me I would not see the second dawn. So 2 lessons of Inks of Revelation and a memory revelation. So we'll mark that book with Revelation. I mean, it makes sense. Gervinus was kind of a light element person himself, and he was all about locks. So, let's see. We can grab Inks of Revelation. Not that one. Inks of Revelation. Sight. Lesson. Revelation. Foresight. Impulse. Occult Scrap. Clouds. And the Ascendant Harmony. And apply Faust. And make this level 8. And then for level 9, we need a total of 8 memories. We still have the Wind and Waiting. We have the Hives Lament. We have our lesson. So we need 6 more Lantern and Moth memories. So we'll start making another Ascendant Harmony over here. So that's 3. Four. Five. 6. 7. And we need 1 more Lantern or Moth. So we can do sight again. Or actually, we can do the occult scrap once we have this clear, because that'll only take 30 seconds. We could do a Newman too, but this works just as well. Alright, Inks of Revelation level 8. Ah, there's some more apples. And some more sea glass. So let's put the apples where we don't... They're not sitting out in the open. Not that it'll do anything to them, but, you know, it feels better not having them sitting out in the middle of the weather. So we can put them on the desk up here on the table. Two, three, four. And Didymos would also work because it has lantern, but... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more, which is a Ascendant Harmony, which is being processed. Should be just another few seconds on that. Alright. So, harmony, lesson, lament, when waiting, and there we go, level 8, level 9. There's always more to learn. And that will make making Uzult extremely easy now. So let's see, what other books do we have over here? Now let's put our Honeyscar Jasmine here on the shelf for now, along with our Cat's Claw. Skeleton Songs. We can easily read that one. It's a Grail book, so we've come up here. Nana's Desk. Arab and Applebright Euphonies. And that will give us Resurgences and Emergences, so we can use that for something else, because I think that's maxed out. Poems of Greedy Delight, composed by the possibly pseudonymous Arabella Dusk, the rumored heiress turned madam turned poetess. So let's see. Resurgences and Emergences. Yes, we've got that at level 9, so we can use Grail or Moth. We'll probably use the Grail aspect, because we've got several things that need Grail. Pentiments and Precursors. Sea Stories. We can do Sea Stories. Anything else? Yeah, Sea Stories is the low on the totem pole there, so we'll do Grail. We need 4 Grail and Moon. So we can do Grail. We can do Grail. We can do Moon. And Moon. So that will get skeleton. That will get it. Sea Stories to 4, or to 5 rather. Let's go Beachcombing one more time if we can. Yes, we can use our FET for that. And then we can also go out on the moor with Core and Horns and Ivories. there's our 4 memories. Looks like the book will finish just before day switches over. Found some contraband flotsam. And another hawthorn blank. Okay, so we have to choose something to keep because we're going to lose all these. We didn't quite make that reading done in time. So let's see. Which one of these? We can keep the satisfaction. So we'll just reread. Beguiling Melody. And Intuition. And Contradiction. And we got some fog. So we can go ahead. We might as well go ahead and start reading this last book. Oh, we've already read Shiona Dablos. Never mind. I forgot we'd already read that, so we'll toss it over here. We just forgot to mark that we had what we read it in what memory we got, but probably one of the winter memories. So the only 2 books we have left to read are 2 books that we cannot read because they're in Hyksos. So let's start getting ready for our next salon that will be in wintertime. So where have we not held a salon yet? The Hall of Voices. So this one is probably similar to the one up in the rectory. We've had a picnic, but we can't do that in the summertime. We've done 11s. We have not done a afternoon tea. Is there anywhere else that we can hold a salon? Definitely not over there. Yep, so it looks like we can go back to having one. Can't have a picnic? Okay, we'll just do a standard dinner for the next time. Or we can do 11s. So we'll take our baked apple meringue. And we'll go up. Actually, let's go down to the cavern. We haven't done one down there yet. Move all our stuff out of there into the next room. Don't want anybody drinking all of our sweetened tea. Well, we have an invitation for Peel, so we want something with moon in it. So let's see, what do we have cooked up already? King's Luck Pie is everything but moon. We have the mushroom meringue. We could invite Zachary. So we'll use the mushroom meringue for Zachary. Although the baked apple meringue also does that. We can do the ham and potato bake as a main course. Let's see, what else do we have? We have some stuff up here that we've been holding on to. Starry Gazy pie, the beef, honey haunted pumpkin pie. So we want water for heal. So we have one there. And we'll go ahead and start pulling up another jug. And we'll start opening this package here since we have some time. Something shipwrecked. So we'll put our drinks in the background here for now. So let's save this apple meringue for another day, since we're going to be using the mushroom meringue for Zachary. Let's see, so we can use this King's Luck pie as our main dish. We can actually save the ham and potato bake for another day. We have some pickled pilchards over here in the other kitchen that we can use. Okay, so that's 3 dishes, and that counts as... So we have everything we can throw. We can just throw in 2 boiled eggs or something simple now that we have all of our dishes covered, but we'll see who else we want to invite. So we have Zachary we want to add, so we'll go ahead and call him up, or write his invitation. Let's see, we can also get... We could have Connie. So we'll call her out. We can bring in Serena. And let's see, who else do we want to get? Let's get Arthur. We haven't had him come by in a while. Oh, that reminds me. We need to put Douglas's... Suppression Bureau, Hobbs End, London. Interested in Heart and Lantern, prefers lantern, food, and drink. And there's our cult scrap. Oop, we forgot to read what that book said, so we can refill that real quickly. And use our Western Guard Arab to see it, but it did give us memory satisfaction. So we'll use... We have sea stories, well, as soon as our verb is free here. We have... So slim parcel, must be some alcohol in there. So sea stories... 1, 2, 4 memories. And then moon, or so we'll use the Arab. And back to our planning. So let's see again. So we have Serena covered there. We have Dr. Peel covered there. We have Zachary covered there. Connie wants Sky. Oh, we have some leafy leaves. We'll have to move that. So Connie wants Sky. So that is easy. We can make a jugged pheasant for her. So we've got plenty of pheasant and several sticks of butter. And then for her drink, we can use the last of this Blue Crown tea. And we have several more other Blue Crown stalks, so we can make more later. So there's tea for her. Zachary, again, we know he likes winter food and drink. So does water also have winter aspect on it? Yes, it does. So that covers that. So we'll just do another glass of water for him. Okay, then Serena wants something with forge. And it can't be alcoholic, so it's going to have to be a tea. And I think we have some... Yes, we have the... Let's see. Let's find forge. Ah, yes, the... Now we have some Dawn Line coffee there we can use. And that counts, that works for Douglas as well, or Arthur. So that covers Arthur and Serena. So we have Peel and Zachary, so we just need one more cup of water. So that's 5 drinks for 5 people. So we're making a jugged pheasant, and so we need something with lantern, which we have lantern, we have forge, we have winter, we have moon. So we just need something with with moon, lantern. We just need something with sky, which will be the jugged pheasant, and then we can do something else on the side. Actually, we can just throw some almonds down there. Or we have or we have the toffee pudding. Floating island. Yeah, we'll just do some almonds as a quick side dish. And we'll get another jug of water, since we're all out now. In Arabella's introductions, she explains that the book was to be illustrated, but the Suppression Bureau would not permit it. She hints that the illustrations still exist somewhere. The book is dedicated to Sir Parzival of the Red Cup. The 26 delightful fruits, the 7 chastisements, the 9 gardens, the 4 regrets. And that gives us Beguiling Melody. So, let's mark that. So that's the second book that gives us Beguiling Melody. Handy. So we can put that down here on our rare bookshelves. All right, so let's see what can we find out from the Honey-Scarred Jasmine if we examine it. And then we'll also go beachcombing again and see if we can find some more fish. And we have our cake batter, so as soon as this is finished, we'll start experimenting with the various cakes. See if we can make an apple cake or something. Jugged pheasant, the hunter's reward. So there's our preparations for next season's salon, where we will be doing afternoon tea. Alrighty then. And this one I'm pretty sure is done. I think all of our visitors that are interested in Winter and Heart have come and gone. Yep. I think that's everything ready for that one. Ambrose Westcott found a way to scent his pipe tobacco with honey scar. Kitty Mazarine made jam, and Gervinus Van Loren, it is said, found a keeper-level recipe which somehow uses it as the basis for the Azoth. Well, we know that Azoth is a forge concoction, so let's see. Maybe if we try Transformations and Liberations with Honey Scar Jasmine. No, we cannot use a flower there. Maybe if we try up here. Since this is a moth desk, but we can't use metal there. We need something with moth and knock. Let's see what our Newmans have. So we need 3 points of forge. So we could get that with the earthquake name, but we can also do one of our Newmans here must help us. So, okay, loopholes. That one will work, because that's moth and knock. We can use knock in that. So we need crack track and core. And there's our next batch of water. Let's see, while we're doing that, we need to make another Wind in Waiting up here, and another Ascendant Harmony. And we need to make another Hive's Lament. We found a contraband jetsam flung overboard in furtive haste. Who threw this overboard? Something renounced. Okay, let's try that again then, now that we have our Newman. Go to the dispensary. Transformations and liberations. We can add the Shapt. We can add the Newman loopholes. And we add the Honeyscar Jasmine. Oh, that's Moth, not Forge. Damn. Wrong. Essence. Does get us to 14 Moth, but can we... So let's see. So that one makes Perilous Imago, but... This has to be it, so we need Forge. Not Moth. There we go. Mark of the Sun. That's the one we wanted. We found some abandoned luggage. Well, let's see what's in it. Okay, now we have the right Newman. So Newman, Transformations and Liberations, Shapt, and the Honeyscar Jasmine, and see if this does anything. Okay, it's not, so it must not be with Transformations and Liberations, but let's see what other Forge we have. Okay, so this one does nothing. So that one we add metal to make and Barian Lapidary maybe. No, because we can't put that one there. Forge. Let's see what other forge we have. Bells and Brasseries. Can that go here? No. Let's see. We can do forge here at the glassware, and it can take flowers. Bells and Brasseries, metal, and the Newman. No, that's not it. Hieroglyphics. No. Spices and Savors. Aha! There we go. Spices and Savors makes it. A little-known secret. When prepared with extraordinary care, Honeyscar Jasmine can catalyze the ferocious Nox solvent called the Azoth. Well, let's make some of that and see what we can do with it. The other one is... must be using the Pyrrhus or Calcanus to make Sacrament Malachite. There's our Hive's Lament. And then we'll go back and we'll do an Ascendant Harmony. So let's see, we have this 3 Knock and 3 Moon waiting for us. It's about to expire, so let's see what we can craft with Moon here. So Edict's Inviolable does Moon, so let's come over to the Nocturnary, because it takes Moon. So Edict's Inviolable, plus Tryst, plus Fog. Okay, so that one makes Solomon's Preparation with Moon. Inks of Containment Moon makes Lethe, and then something else at level 15. And with that, we can use, with just the wind and waiting, we can make Stargall ink. The fog, we can only make Catwink or Eigengrowl. And we need to find out what that one does eventually. So insects and nectars with moon. Makes the chimeric larva, and then that must make the chimeric larva into the perilous imago. Kill and hollow with moon. Makes chimeric larva, and it doesn't have a 15 for moon. Oronoscopy with moon. Add a lens and focus that moonlight into a silvery ink of revelation. So we can add a device, and we have a lens over here. So that makes Asimel. So we'll go ahead and craft that, just so we're not using up our, so we're not wasting the fog. 3 points of moon is 3 points of moon. And we've still got a little time left, so we'll go ahead and finish out the season. Ah, some rain. Nectar and Grail. So let's see. We could experiment with spices and savors once it's done making Azoth. We found a Lignum Vitae blank, the hardest of all woods. So we'll set that down here in the area down here with our other 2 Lignum Vitae blanks. Those will be good for making pears later. And then we'll open this up. Something especially tasty. Must be some wine of some sort. And we have these baskets of vegetables and stuff over here. We can harvest some more bags of vegetables while we're at it. We can also harvest some from the beehive. Unlikely to garner much from the beehive at this time of year. Okay. So instead we will just gather from the plant, from the gardens. And what the heck, we'll grab another bowl of pears since we have a free core for that. Let's see, what do we want to do? We can put this hawthorn blank somewhere. We can put it in the storeroom over here. So yes, this is basically a killing time day, but let's see. Let's see what our further stories want. So for this one, Unfinished Lark, we want Azita to assist with Zuthi's secrets, assist Morgan with Zuthi's secrets, or assist Serena with Zuthi's secrets. We also have the Forgivable Debt. We can help Aaron to democratize the Wangle, Azita to profit from the Wangle, or Connie to shut down the Wangle. And those are the only 2 we've concluded so far, but I have a feeling this one we've just finished is about to come up there somewhere. Bittersweet Certainty. Ah, we... Damn it, and used the wrong... Didn't make the right one. Oh well. So let's see what we can make with winter here. So that makes Ugal. With Ragged Crossroads, we make Bittersweet Certainty. Mix in a flower to make Solomon's Preparation. Crush in a leaf to make a more dangerous and potent and dangerous ink. So that's another way to make Meringues, it sounds like. Sights and Sensations. Makes Solomon. Rhyme and Remembrance. Makes Essential Periost. So yes, we'll make some of that. Some TRN limited drinking cocoa. TRN Spices and Savors Department markets this as the secret sacrament of the last Inca. We have some dandelion wine up here, so we'll go and put that down in our cellar now that we have some room for another bottle. The jasmine juices must be prepared very carefully as a coating for the vessel, so that the azoth does not escape. Careless alchemists have to move house frequently. Azoth, a solvent of frightening voracity. And it's rather large. 2 forge and 6 knock. If we ever need a lot of knock for a recipe, we can use that. Let's see. Let's examine this trumpeter's lily and see what it can tell us. Dissect the flower. Nothing will remain. There's our Ascendant Harmony. Go comb in the sands. See what we can find, and we'll go out to explore the moor as well. Traditionally, the flower of the Western Library named Crossrow, where the Watchman, the Vagabond, and Sunset Celia are all celebrated. Memory sent. So, nothing much, no secret recipes or anything that it can tell us about. Speaking of recipes, I seem to remember that there was a secret recipe we could make with Aglaophotis. Maybe we can cook something with it. Maybe an Aglaophotis cake or something. No, not cake. Maybe with just regular dough. Do we have some regular dough around somewhere? No, but we can make some. So now we need the bowls. We need flour. And we need milk or butter. So we'll use butter. An ingredient for a higher purpose. And we'll make another batch over here in the jail kitchen. And we'll use milk for that. And I know we've got stuff stacking up outside the house, but we don't have a whole lot of place to put stuff right now. So with Keeper level winter, this is precursor to a year tally. But a year tally gives us the same thing, so not really needed to make one. So what happens when you boil us and scrape us down to our utter fundamentals? So we can actually put this just over here on the shelf. Or not. And if we ever need another old moment, this can make one for us. We'll drop the drinking cocoa there on the shelf so we have room. So let's see. Dough plus aglaophotis makes aglaophotis souffle. That has rose, lantern, and sky. All pretty rare, so we'll make some of that. And we'll collect the dough there. And pop it on our shelves for now. Now we found some more mushrooms. And some more sand. Of course we found more sand. Why wouldn't we find more sand? We can just toss the sand away. We don't need it. And that if we ever need a winter or edge memory, we can get loss. Whatever it was, now it isn't. Aglaophotis souffle. This is a pudding, one of the most delicious melting incarnations of occult power ever contrived. So let's see, what else can we make here? We add almonds. And that makes a Madeira cake. Can we add plums? Make a plum cake? Nope. Nope, no beef cake. No ham cake. No agave cake. No butter cake. Jam sponge cake. Blackberry jam sponge cake. Didn't think so. Drippings wouldn't go well in a cake. Maybe the pears? Maybe Pyrrhus? The special pears? Nope. Oh wait, let's try without... So if we just use regular pears and spicing, we make Puer Belle Helene. Actually, we don't even need the spicing for that. If we make Puer Yeast, that does require the spices. Or dough with that makes pear pie. Have to experiment and find out what goes in that what those last two things are. But for now, I think we're going to go ahead and let the day finish out and season finish out. And we'll get our invitations sent out, because we're going to need them next season. So that way they're all here in the morning. And we'll speed time up to 6x speed here. So Arthur is here. Connie is here. Aaron is here. Serena is here. And Zachary is here. And now we wait for the season to tick over. Storm. Alright, so we have the next season is starting. We have made it to winter. So we're going to go ahead and call it a day now. And when we come back, we will have our 11s. We've had 11s, so we'll have afternoon tea with our group and see what we can learn from this batch of strange people. So thank you for joining me. Hope you've been enjoying. If you've liked what you've seen or have anything you want to tell me, then please leave a like or a comment down below. If you want to see where this journey is going and ride this train to the end, then please subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow.